Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your host Dan Russell Fan here on DWF. And today we're giving a shout out to Damian King and our newest sub, which is HCW. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you guys for being fans of the channel. Thanks for checking us out. Today guys, we are going to do a Mount Rushmore video. But today's Mount Rushmore, we are going to look at opponents of the tribal chief Roman Reigns. During his historic run, he's going through many a fella, right? He's been tearing down people left and right. Today, we are going to look at our 4 favorite opponents that he has had and some of the best, talk about some of the matches and things of that nature. And I think it's best to say, coming in at number 4, one of my favorite all-time wrestlers is going to be Daniel Bryan. He's had 4 goes at Roman Reigns, 4 shots at the title, 4 chances to win, once with Edge in that triple threat match. I don't know if you guys remember that, but back when Edge and Roman were using the brace on that steel chair to go at each other with a crossface. But yeah, Daniel Bryan had some epic matches, including one of the shortest. I think there was like one match was like 1 minute and 30 seconds or something like that. So he did have one of the shortest matches, but he also had like a 36-minute match and a 31-minute match or something. He had some of the best matches, I think, against Roman. Some of the most memorable, some of the most fun during his, I'm healthy, I'm back, here I am, I can wrestle again. Daniel Bryan is my number 4 Mount Rushmore character. You guys agree with that? Is he on your list of, one of the best opponents Roman has faced during his epic run? I'm only talking about his most recent run, not all time. But with that being said, I think I have to move on to... man, I don't know how I should do this. Should I do my... I'm not going to do my favorite. I'm going to move on to... So this one is a... It's kind of a 2-parter. You guys will understand why. It's Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. You can't have one without the other, right? Like, Kevin Owens had 3 or 4 matches versus Roman for the titles, I think. And then Sami Zayn was in the bloodline and then challenged Roman, and then they kind of teamed up to get... Like, I don't know. It's... You can't have one without the other. I think this was probably one of the better stories of the bloodline era. I mean, Sami joining, abandoning Kevin, setting Kevin up to be sacrificed to Jey Uso, officially becoming part of the bloodline, being accepted in, just to realize that it was corrupt and he had to get us out of there, and then turning his back on Roman, hitting him with the chair, rejoining Kevin. Great. That was great storytelling. That was, I think, the peak of the bloodline era for me. I absolutely loved that. Jay walking away because he didn't know what to do anymore. Like, that's my tribal chief, but now I'm cool with Sami and we're friends. I don't know. It was peak storytelling. And then, things kind of went downhill from there, because when you're at the top, there's only one place to go, right? Nowhere to go but down. Number 2, on that note, I've got to go with Jey Uso. He had 2 matches, I think, for the 2 title shots against Roman. One in 2020 was that Hell in a Cell where they fought, I think, where, Roman was tribal chief, and, he was trying to get everyone to fall in line and all that. And, I think this was, again, great storytelling, peak bloodline era, like starting the bloodline, getting Jay to fall in line, hey, I need the right-hand man, you want to be the tribal chief, whatever. The whole story was he was going after. And then, of course, more recently was at SummerSlam, when Jay had his opportunity to take out Roman after he's walked away from the bloodline and said, no, I'm done, man. Sami Uso left, I'm out too, And then, Jimmy had to ruin that for him. But I think this was a great rivalry. I still think it's something that they could build upon, assuming Roman isn't going to retire. I hope he's not hanging it up yet. Hopefully he's still going to be around a little bit longer. I mean, he's not much older than I am. And, I feel like I could go. You know, put me in the ring. I'll go. I feel like I could go for a bit. But anyway, guys, that leads to our number one. And if you didn't see this one coming from a mile away, this was, I think, one of my favorite rivalries for the whole length of like the bloodline. It's got to be Brock Lesnar, right? This was just a great, great rivalry. Like they fought so many times, and like all of their fights had that big match feel. Like they all had that, oh, this is where Roman could lose it. This is where Roman could lose it. Every single time. Now, when Sammy fought Roman, it didn't feel like Roman was going to lose. When Daniel Bryan fought Roman, maybe a little bit, but not really. When Kevin Owens fought, technically he should have won. When Roman was handcuffed to the scaffolding during COVID and he was on his back for like 13, 14, even 15 seconds, and the ref just stopped counting. He was at 9 and then just stopped counting. Like that was bad. He should have lost the title, and then Kevin Owens should have come out and lost it the very next night. You know, that way you can put the title back on Roman, and but then they couldn't have this historic run. But I don't even think they were looking at that time. I don't think they were even looking that far ahead. So they should have just, for integrity's sake, given it to KO, put it back on Roman the next night, regardless. The Jey Uso had that pop of like, oh man, he could actually win it. But I mean, Brock Lesnar, every match he was in, he had that feel of like, oh, this is the guy to do it. This is where it's going to happen. Roman's losing it all tonight. I was even willing to bet money on some of those matches. I'm glad I didn't. I'd be even more poor than I am now. But anyway, guys, that's my list. That's my picks. That's my Mount Rushmore of Roman Reigns' opponents. Why is Seth Rollins not on here? I just feel like they didn't do enough with Seth. I think they could have given Seth way more time, way more matches. You know, he came out and did his Shield thing once. I really thought it was going to set up for something, but at that point they must have known that, no, we don't want to put this on Seth. We want to go somewhere else. You know, we're talking to Cody. We're going to get Cody back. You know, and maybe that's when they kind of had that idea of like, okay, let's give it to Cody. I also didn't put Cody in here because it's too soon, right? It's too soon for me to say, did Cody have the best matches with Roman? I don't know. I don't want to get caught up in all the fanfare right now of like, yeah, I'm on Cody Mania right now, but I don't want to get caught up in all that, so I didn't put him in here. I may have to reevaluate this list later, and after I give it a little bit of time, like all these guys had a little bit of time to build their stories with Roman, and I think, you know, that's why they're on the list now, because obviously Daniel Bryan's not wrestling Roman anytime soon. You know, main event Jey Uso he did his back in the summer, so, you know, that had time to sit and settle. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens had their, you know, matches prior to that even, so everything's had a chance to settle and, you know, kind of set now. With Cody, it still feels too recent, so let me give that a couple months, and maybe Cody makes this list once everything's kind of settled a little bit, but right now, that's my list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Bye!